Some new information on a story we first brought you yesterday on Happening Now. Police in Wisconsin now say a disturbing YouTube video that was just taken down yesterday of a girl tied up and screaming, apparently locked up in a basement, is not linked to the 2009 disappearance of a Wisconsin girl named Kayla Berg. Officials say the guy in the video has been identified along with the actress, the girl, and they say the whole thing was staged. The question now is, where do we go from here? Eric Guster is a criminal defense attorney. Doug Burns is also a criminal defense attorney and a former prosecutor. For those who didn't see our program yesterday, the guy in that video whose face we just showed puts out this creepy video saying he's got a new girlfriend, just met her at the mall. Then he cuts to a shot where he throws open a locked basement door. There's a girl bound and gagged on the floor. She screams, "What are you doing?" The door closes, and that was the end of the clip. So we spoke to the police chief in Antigo, Wisconsin yesterday, where they are still investigating the disappearance of Kayla Berg some 7 years ago. The chief and his force and other forces, possibly the FBI, have tracked this guy down. They say he is not involved. It was all just an act. Could he face charges, Eric?
If stupid was a crime, he'd be facing a felony, but it's not. This is a case where there were actors involved in this, and it is not a crime, unfortunately, because I know that the family really wants to prosecute this man because this gave them hope that they have someone who is responsible for their baby's kidnapping and possible death, but we don't know. Death has not been confirmed.
The mother thought it was her daughter. She saw the video, thought it was her, thought it was her voice.
Yeah, to Eric's point, I agree. I mean, the way you would break it down legally is you'd say as long as the people are consenting, you know, the actor or whoever is involved, then it's not necessarily a crime. However, I would part company a little bit slightly and say that if you could show that there was some link between that and the horrific disappearance or even some intent, I'm not suggesting necessarily that there is, then maybe, but I do tend to agree with Eric. I don't think you could actually prosecute him.
Now what could happen in this, if they intended to throw the police off and act like this is the girl, they could be sued civilly for the police investigations, for their time, overtime, all that. I've seen cases where that has happened, where they could be responsible for all the payments that the police had to make in reference to investigating the video.
This guy whose face was so featured in the video, I mean, the video was up for 7 years. Nobody paid it any attention until over the weekend, a sort of an amateur internet sleuth stumbled across it, put two and two together, said, hey, maybe this is the guy, and maybe that's Kayla Berg tied up on the floor in there.
I'm sorry.
Well, that guy has been getting death threats. He does not want his name out there because he put this thing on YouTube for the whole world to see, and now he's getting death threats.
What was really horrific is that the mother said, hey, that definitely sounds like her. Other friends said, look, I've been with her 1,000 times. It sounds exactly like her. And back to Eric's other point about civil litigation, you could turn around and say that's tremendous emotional distress, no?
Yeah, you could. And especially if they were trying to do it. This is where people need to stop doing stupid stuff.
Right.
You were trying to invoke emotional distress, trying to say, hey, this is actually a girl, I have her tied up. And that's the kind of thing that can end you up in court. And this guy should not, we hope no one hurts him, but this kind of thing that leads to death threats.
There was also another gentleman who lives in the area where this crime took place, and people looked at this video and said, oh, that's so-and-so, and that guy was getting all kinds of harassment. Police said, no, he had nothing to do with it. He isn't even the guy in the video, but he looks like the guy in the video. So you have to be careful with some of these social media crazes.
Well, I was going to say, and we talked about this, I mean, you know, social media's got lots of positives. Of course, this is one area where it can be very, very negative. You get this horrific video, people speculating all over the place.
And
it's terrible.
Name the wrong person, the person gets beaten up or killed. And it's happened in videos where people have misidentified someone. They'll say, this is definitely the person, and then they will get severely injured.
Eyewitness testimony is sometimes the least reliable.
The least reliable.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Well, unfortunately, there is still no clue as to what happened to Kayla Berg. Her family is still looking for that girl, and let's hope they get some answers. Eric and Doug, thanks very much.
My pleasure, John.
Thank you.